listen here, you! The reason I missed out on getting married is all your fault! Say something, would ya?
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, the Real Quinn Jr., and I'm back with another video. But today, we're talking about Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles. Now, like I said, I told y'all I was going to drop some videos on it. So today, we're going to be going through all the bosses in the story mode, and I'm going to be showing y'all the best way to beat them. Now, for the sake of the video, I'm not going to be going into the special mission bosses. I'm going to be focusing on the main story mode. If you want to see a video about the special mission bosses, comment below, and I'll let y'all know about that one. But if you've been here before, and you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on that bell notification so you can know when I post new videos. And if this is your first time here, hopefully I can gain your sub. But y'all already know how we do these videos, man. Let's go ahead and start that intro. Okay, so when we start off with Sabito, like most games, they're going to start you off with the tutorials, and they're going to basically show you how to fight. So when it comes to Sabito, when you actually start fighting him for real, you're basically going to be fighting him kind of like how you're fighting in a normal online match. He didn't really give off any tendencies of certain things that he did a lot, so the main thing you want to do is just wait for him to rush in and then just counter or dodge and block. You can see right here, I wasn't really doing too good in the beginning. Note this is in the beginning of the game, so once I actually started learning the mechanics a little bit better, I was actually able to fight on him. But yeah, the main thing you want to do is wait for him to rush in, block, and then dodge out of the way. For the most part, you can rush Sabito, and you can pretty much win the match. So next we go to the Hand Demon. For the most part, he was a pretty simple boss to defeat. For the most part, you're going to see that when he starts glowing red, he'll do this thing where he'll spin in a circle, and as long as you stay outside of the circle, you're good. And as soon as he finishes swinging, that's when you go in for your hits and your rushes. Now, once he powers up, this is where he changes. Once he goes into his red form, where he's basically enraged, he's going to try to bull rush you. So, the main thing you're going to need to do, I would personally wait until the red goes away, but I was still attacking him even when he was in this state. I would just wait for him to do the little spin thing with his hands, and then he also does this thing where he's going to punch the ground. But for the most part, you're just running around in a circle, and then once he ends up going to this state where he's vulnerable, use your boost mode, and then you can just go in for the attack. So for the Swamp Demon, they're going to put you in a 3 versus 1, and they're going to show you how to switch who you're aiming on. For the most part, they're going to be coming in straight lines, basically doing the same bull rush type of move. I learned that something that works really effectively is jumping and hitting them once they're in the puddle. So that was something that I was able to find to do. Then you're going to do the second part of the fight where you're just Nezuko fighting against one of the demons. And it was also the same method. I saw that jumping and hitting the opponent and then going into your combo helped out a lot, especially when they're moving down. But one thing you do want to make sure, especially when he awakens, that you don't fall inside his puddle, because being able to just move your stick to the left, right at the last second is not that easy. But for the most part, yeah, you're just going to be following, moving, dodging, and jumping up. Like I said, I like to wait till he dives into a puddle, and then I come down to finish him off. So when you're fighting Susamaru and Yahaba, it gets a little bit more difficult, but not too hard. For the most part, she's going to be sending dodgeballs in a straight line, and she'll send balls from up in the air. She'll also occasionally do something where she'll do a really strong dodgeball where it charges up, but it's really easy to dodge. The main thing with this boss is you're going to want to keep your distance. That way you can see whenever she's throwing her dodgeballs. If you're too close, she might be able to hit you with it before you can get your attack off, like she did right there to me. Because with some of these bosses, they allow them to super armor and basically power through some attacks. And then she'll also do the dodgeballs in a certain area like that. One thing I did learn with these bosses, they do really good at like dodging the ultimate arts. So like for the most part, you're going to want to keep your distance and then once they get out of their angered awakened mode, that's when you can try to hit them with your ultimate art. Unless you can hit the ultimate art in the middle of a combo. But you see right here, when she's most vulnerable is when she loses her awakening mode. So when we go over to Yahaba, because you're going to fight these people 3 times. When you do the final battle with Yahaba, for the most part his moveset is pretty similar to Susamaru. The only thing is with the arrows, if the arrows hit you, you're going to get put in an animation where you have to press a button to get out of the arrows. It didn't do a whole lot of damage when you get caught, but it's just annoying to have to press the button to get out. Besides that, he's going to shoot arrows in straight lines, and they're pretty easy to predict, but the same thing like how it is with Susamaru. You want to keep your distance, that way you can actually have time to dodge it, and then once he ends up going out of his angered mode, then you can get your attacks in. And hopefully you're a little bit better at comboing your attacks together than me, because I didn't do too well. When he goes into his awakened mode, it gets a little bit more difficult because he starts shooting arrows in a lot faster pace, but it still wasn't something that was too much to handle, and I was able to land my ultimate on him. So when we get to the arc, as far as with some of these villains, I don't know if you can really count them as serious bosses, but just because there was cutscenes, I decided to do this one. With this guy, for the most part, he's like one of the demons where they just swing their tongue around, so they have a certain radius in front of them. It's kind of like a cone shape, and you just need to be out of the radius of that. As far as I've seen, when you're fighting anybody with Zenitsu, it's best to keep your distance, wait for them to lower their guard, and then just hit them with your normal art first form and hit them. As far as whenever you're playing with Inosuke and you're fighting the big guy, for the most part he has the same movesets of most of the bigger villains on this game, where they're going to try to bull rush you, he'll grab you, and then he'll also have a combo where he'll just swing some combos in you. The best thing you're going to want to do is just dodge and wait for an opening. For the most part, the best time to get an opening is after he throws his punch combo. He'll also slam the ground and air will come from it like you saw right here, but as you're going to see, if you just dodge his normal combo, you can come from behind. So, whenever you actually end up fighting Kyogai, now this guy, he was probably one of the more difficult. He wasn't extremely hard, but he was one of the more difficult on the normal story mode before you get to Mugen Train. It's pretty easy to dodge it whenever you can see that he's getting ready to hit his drum, but the main thing is you gotta have a decent distance from him because he hits his drum pretty quickly. And also you gotta be able to jump whenever he switches the sides of the room. If you don't get this right, you can actually sustain a decent amount of damage from this. Now, as far as dodging normal blades on the ground, I mean, when they hit you off guard and you can't really see the lines, that's when they'll hit you, but for the most part, they're pretty easy to dodge. I've found a lot of success jumping and attacking with this guy. So, getting him in midair and then hitting him. He doesn't really have a whole lot of up-close combos. For the most part, he's just going to be trying to hit you with the blades. So, once you get up close to him, for the most part, you can get as many hits as you want in on him. And he's not really going to do much besides trying to hit you with the blades. The main thing you need to make sure you keep up with is being able to switch whenever the room flips, because if not, you can sustain a decent amount of damage. So once we get to the forest arc, this is where stuff starts getting annoying. So when you fight the first spider guy, the elder brother, he was a challenge, I'm not gonna lie. This was the one guy that I had to come back with my health to beat. And I know some of y'all might be calling me a scrub, but I just got irritated. With this guy, I mean, he's going to shoot normal webs, he's going to shoot poison at you, and the best way to hit him is whenever he's on the ground, you're going to have to hit him with Zenitsu's first form, and then just rush him, because he moves around a lot and he dodges really fast. So you got to really keep up with him. When we move to the next boss, it's the father, and for the most part he fights just like most of the other brutes in this game, besides the fact that he throws a projectile, but it's a pretty slow projectile. He'll jump up in the air and slam down, but most of his attacks are pretty easy to dodge, besides the grab that you just saw he hit me with. If he gets close to you, he can hit you with that grab pretty fast, and you won't really expect it coming. For the most part, the best way to get a combo on him is to wait for this guy to do his small combo and then just counter it. Or you can just wait until he ends up getting out of his awakened mode and then he'll end up being vulnerable for a little bit. You have to fight the father twice. So you end up having to fight him with the Inosuke only, and I struggled a little bit with the Inosuke. I had to get a little bit used to his playstyle, but for the most part, it's pretty easy to beat this villain. The main thing I saw with Inosuke is you have to be pretty close. He doesn't really have a lot of moves that seems like cover a lot of range. So whenever you're fighting the father for the last time with the Nosuke, yeah, you're going to have to time your parries pretty well, and you're going to have to get close to him at the right time, just because you can't really attack too much from a distance. You're going to be right here next to him. But like I said, if you went right there, if I would not have got hit right there, that leaves you an opening right there to hit him. But like I said, the boulder, it's not really an issue to dodge at all. Just got to time everything right, and you should be well. Now, one of the battles that ended up being a little bit of a challenge was the Tanjiro versus Rui fight. When we get into this one, he's pretty similar. I feel like his moves are pretty similar to the Dodgeball Girl. When it comes to Rui, whenever you're fighting him, he's going to hit you with the normal webs, but then he has pretty much an attack that can hit you from all ranges. So he has the one that goes in a straight line like you just saw. He'll also have this thing where he'll shoot out webs straight towards you, like it's kind of like some Spider-Man type stuff. And then he'll also have this one where I run into it like an idiot, where he just make a circle of spider webs. For the most part, the best chance to hit him is when he does that circle. Once he does that little circle, little vortex thing of spider webs, if you can rush in really quick, you can get some hits on him. Because as far as when you're trying to get him right now, it might just be because I just suck. Maybe I just suck, but whenever he hits you with the normal web punches things, those things are a little bit difficult to get by. You just gotta time it well. Once you defeat Rui the first time, you end up going to the Hinokami mode, and like this one, I mean, pretty simple. You're pretty much just spamming the square or the X button because you're not taking any damage, and you're kind of just going through a little rage, kind of. So really, there's not really nothing that you can do wrong when it gets to this point. So when we get to the Mushin train arc, this is where things get really difficult. Yeah, the skill spike on this one was pretty decent, especially with Enmu. The way that he fights, his close range combo was pretty annoying. So I learned that the best way to get him was to wait until he gets ready to hit you, and then jump and hit him from over the top. Because this little air palm thing, that's basically what it looked like to me, an air palm. His air palm things are they're pretty quick, and he moves pretty quick. Now most of his other attacks are pretty easy to dodge, it's just he comes with them constantly. He doesn't really give you a lot of rest time. So the main thing you want to do is you're gonna have to counter him pretty well, mainly if you try to get him whenever he tries to come in for his light combo. That's the best chance you have. And one good thing about fighting him this first time is when he puts you to sleep, he doesn't attack you. But that's not the case when you fight him the second time. Whenever he's in his big mode, you see right here, this is where he's the most vulnerable. After you hit him a little bit, his face will open up, and then that's when you should use your boost and your surge to try to get the most damage. But you also got to get out really fast like you just saw I did, so you don't get hit with the hands. For the most part, these hands are just going to hit you, and then if you end up getting caught in one of the circles, that he can also put you to sleep, and then you can get smashed with the hands like you're seeing right now. I played it a little risky. The easiest way to get through this fight with no damage is just to run around while he's doing all these attacks, hit him a little bit, and just wait until his face ends up opening up. Once his face opens up, you go into surge mode and you just go completely crazy on him. And you shouldn't have too many issues. Like I said, throughout the most part for the whole story mode, I was able to finish every boss in one fight without having to continue with my health back. The only one that I continued on was whenever I fought the elder brother, just because he was just getting a little bit irritating to me, if I'm not even going to lie to you. So sadly, there's one thing that wouldn't work for me. I wasn't able to get gameplay of Akaza, and I had a little bit of trouble fighting him too. When you fight Akaza the first time, it's really not too bad. For the most part, he's just going to dodge, and he's going to hit you with the punch combo that you just saw. And he'll also hit you with this combo where he teleports towards you and he does like an upward kick. I've learned this is the best chance to hit him. Whenever he does this little teleportation thing and he tries to hit you with the upward kick, if you dodge, you can hit him right there in that little moment. But you also need to watch out, because whenever he does his kick, sometimes he'll also come with like a reverse uppercut. So the main thing with Akaza, he's going to fire a lot of projectiles at you, and he moves really quickly, and his combos are pretty devastating. You're not going to really overpower him with hitting him first whenever he's coming with his combos. So the best thing is to try to dodge him and hit him whenever he's trying to do his kick, or to try to hit him right after he shoots the little charge bomb things. But like I promised, I went through all the bosses and I gave y'all a brief description of how I defeated them. For the most part, if you played Storm, or if you're pretty, good with these fighting games, you're not gonna have any trouble getting through these boss fights. This is my first time actually playing like one of the fighting games like this. I played Storm a little bit, but it was like Ultimate Ninja Storm like 1, the very one of the really old ones. So getting into this game, it was pretty new for me, and I had to get used to the mechanics. But pretty proud of myself for getting through the story mode the way I did. Like I said, for the people that's pretty used to this, you're not gonna have any trouble with the story mode. But on this channel, we like to cater to everybody, not just the experts. So if you were having trouble finishing the story mode, hopefully this video helps you, and hopefully it helps you defeat it. But if you made it this long and you haven't subscribed yet, I need you to just make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn that bell notification so you can know whenever I post new videos. And if you like videos like this and you want to see more Demon Slayer content on this channel, make sure y'all let me know in the comments, and let me know what y'all like to see, and let me know if y'all want to see other boss fights like the one that I'm doing right now if you were having trouble fighting some of these guys. One thing I didn't mention about Akaza, whenever he does his little move wherever he punches you a bunch of times, if you dodge that first initial multiple punch thing, don't attack just yet, because he also comes with the second strike after he does the little combo. If not, you're going to get hit with that every time. That was a problem that I had. I would try to counter him too early. But that's all we got. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Let me know what y'all think about it in the comments, and I'm going to see y'all next time. We up.